Our weekend is now a hot part to Africa.
Yeah, not only Africa. One game I catch my attention, a Copa Libertadores final.
Oh, yes.
Palmeiras Flamengo.
Yes.
Sergio, now it was a big game.
Yes.
Very, very big one. Now you determine who wins this year's Copa Libertadores. Ubeka say, a new version of Champions League, no. And Sergio, imagine on the touchline, Abel Ferreira, former Sporting Lisbon, former Braga Sporting, former coach Ejinaha on the part of Palmeiras. Now, former left back of Atletico Madrid or Chelsea at a point.
Yeah.
Felipe Luis. Also, Ejina Edima Flamengo. Seju
the any show television. Yeah, okay.
Yekobo no ewo Lima, ewo Peru. Na stadium ni di Estadio Monumental.
Okay.
Na sedu yewo mountains around the stadium.
Oh.
So one yes,
mountains.
Mountains. No head.
No, we didn't know. But who's objects we move? Yes, but then I go mountain as well. Okay, so experience.
Yeah, o moment me anya match.
Maybe na Jesus ne bi was out takwa.
Okay.
Was it the TNA park? But kon nkrofo group people no say.
Yeah, oh okay.
Okay. But we need the osoro pa.
Sunya na muzo nkrofo tete abrosan so. Any blokum. No more here match.
Coronation Park.
Yeah. I'm all for group of so a nice experience. Look at them. Yeah, okay.
Almost an 80,000 seater capacity stadium. Yes, Estadio Monumental. Ewo Lima, the capital of Peru.
Okay.
So Sergio, that was where the game went on. And of course, between Palmeiras and of course Meca Flamengo and Ecoso. Game no name Muyeshi. And who are the players on the field? Sergio, the Brazilian league still have some quality.
Yeah.
Because even share Flamengo team no, not Danilo, former Man City, former share the goal no cry header no. Alexandro, formerly of Juve. Jorginho, Mohamed Chelsea, former midfielder, he was part of the team. Edson Polga of Chile, and of course Georgian de Arrascaeta, that Uruguayan I'll share the 2 goals no Emma Uruguay. World Cup Qatar 2022. Palmeiras, Andreas Pereira, former Man United midfielder, former Fulham midfielder, was part of the squad. And of course, Vitor Roque, former striker of Barcelona, also was part of the guys. And of course, Felipe Anderson, as a point in time, also ball Lazio. So, Sergio, it's a battle of two sides of Biawa quality. And all these two games, two teams now, mobile Club World Cup, the recent Club World Cup, Palmeiras, and of course, Meca Flamengo. They did marvelously well at the competition. And Sergio, of course, the game went on around the 60-something minutes, and Flamengo corner by, and Danilo was the one who scored the only goal of the game. And Sergio, what it meant, say, it was good enough to see, say, Danilo go no kwa ebema Copa Libertadores Championship title, no, ababeto Flamengo, sir. So, Mineuka says, Sergio, they are the 2025 Copa Libertadores champions. 2025, Flamengo, Palmeiras. Sergio, one player. Nihube to game no Andreas Pereira, former Man United player. Sergio, 2021 na Oka Flamengo team no ena omone Palmeiras boy. And Sergio, in 2021 no, Palmeiras won the game by 2-1, and the final Palmeiras were the champions of the Copa Libertadores in 2021. He was with Flamengo and they played the final against Palmeiras and Palmeiras won. Enra, he was with Palmeiras and they played against Flamengo. This time around, Wasai Luzu, Flamengo, Asasho Monti, Emma Andreas Pereira, his story no yakakra with regards to how teams are Okoto Bia Seju, no Makako Luzu, ewo the competition. So Seju, that was how it went on. What it means, Copa Libertadores Champions 2025, Meca Flamengo. Seju, ma qualify for FIFA Club World Cup 2029. Was the last time ye criteria with Club World Cup na boy no na man for en shedan tiasie ye bought 2025 January, so near beba so 2029. So between the years of 2025 to 2028, wow obeji o confederation o championship in our qualify. So me no can say PSG are qualify because they are the champions of Europe. Oko CONCACAF side almost near obeji 2025 on also qualify. Pyramid FC, after winning the CAF Champions League this year, omode ebiti Mamelodi Sundowns no seju eno so amom opportunity amom so qualify for the 2029 edition of the FIFA Club World Cup. So eno by virtue of Meka Flamingo omo 1-0 win omonya against Palmeiras no amom qualify. So this club will be seen at the next edition of the 2029 FIFA Club World Cup. Even though host Nedie Enyame Tuja, ewo FIFA and some say within now to the 2029, Mumbai determine which country gets the opportunity to host the 2029 edition of the FIFA Club World Cup. So CAF Champions League group games and CAF Confederations Cup group games went on over the weekend. Now, Niakobane said
no before so CAF Champions League group games no yenhwe sledge na kwame amo message o de bai kakra bi na fi yemfa enye yi kakra bi. Good morning Wofa. The last time Chelsea won against Arsenal, Queen Elizabeth was alive, Pele was alive, Abramovich owned Chelsea, Messi was playing for Barcelona, Estevao was 12 years old, Lukaku was playing for Chelsea, Watford were playing in the Premier League, Papashi was promoting his song Koyonso, Sir Franco Naro was about starting his PhD, Awal Moammed was correcting you that it's University for Development Studies and not University of Development Studies. Hello, Chelsea fans. Focus on beating Arsenal and stop talking about European champions. Oh, sledge. The about team we are not wrong. Yeah, that's it. So we are champions of Europe and in the world. Munto sanyu nibi. Munto mini league. Munto mini munko Europe. Munto minko GBBA. Munto sanyu nibi. Very simple. We don't have a compare Chelsea. Young guy.
Short fight.
Right. But by our fire, Mopa.
Now fire. What fire did you find?
What try 8 times?
Dear Norbeji.
I think that was 2021. And Chelsea Arsenal.
Now fear mostly where you say about Arsenal.
So no me no.
Why not?
Oh no, Arsenal no na e born weekend. And e ka me no muntam asem. No was muntumi nhye no. Ampa so muntumi.
It dey no dey here no.
Na say money na e born me no
asem. Chelsea be she na dey here no.
Me no asem na.
No be Chelsea.
Me no asem.
We no be prade. Oh, champions of Europe and the world.
Tifako. En komo na mu di me.
So me achievement and say Chelsea.
One who share ecosystem. That's what he's talking about.
What achievement no say Chelsea shame.
No.
Young guy.
From 2021 they achemunya na mu show mu bi.
Na also anu arne na mo no na mo say.
2021 dey ache.
Only uti mu nkoso no.
The last sometime na Lukaku na yemo striker. Na Faka.
Queen Elizabeth was alive.
We are Chelsea again that no. They say be team we. But if you need team back.
Lukaku was there your striker. Ache.
Yeah, a super engine free team moment Manchester Chelsea.
But that's right.
The team in I can say we only Kutaro. What Manchester Chelsea? You grad Asha, multi moka. I sank as some to move 10 men. When he move, you trust me.
The catch him some go munya for working.
What I can say. A cramo struggle some Timoka. We have Odisa and poor we have breaks. Our
so CAF Champions League, CAF Confederations Cup. You bought 2 round of games. So what it means for this year, no remain of the days now can a year who game be just say after AFCON and said that will be 2026. Now interestingly, games are catching my attention. Saturday ni be ball games are more born or Friday where work more early more. Games are catching my attention after the program on Saturday was the game between Pyramid FC and Power Dynamos. Seju over the weekend in Zambia. Pyramid FC after beating Rivers United by 3-0 no. We also said Rivers United gave their all, especially in the first half during that weekend no. And after first half, no, it was 0-0. Second half, Ibrahim Ahmed Atef etimi ebi enijano enya hat-trick emomo. But that game against Power Dynamos in Zambia, no, Pyramid FC went with the plan, at least to make sure so mobenya 1 or 3 of the points now, but them said not to lose, and luckily for them, they were able to get that 3 points now that game. So and that 1-0 win, no, I'm a Pyramid FC so any 6 points. And say yo, CAF Champions League a few way this year group stages, no, after 2 games, no, Pyramid any of group members are Berkane Kwan any 6 points. Obeka say Oma winning on 2 games. Even the Ali's, the Sundowns, the top ones thing, and say you be me and 2 games are so far above. And I think say very good for Pyramid FC for their confidence as the defending champions of the competition. Omodi Euremu in the game. No, it was a good one for Pyramid FC over the weekend. Another game I call so say you in the CAF Confederations Cup. It was the top liner, and that was Kaizer Chiefs hosting Zamalek at the Peter Mokaba Stadium in Polokwane. Sejo, it was really a tough one, and Zamalek Eshe go no early within the game, as early as 3rd minute. Na Saifuddin Jaziri etimi Eshe go no Eddie Ama Zamalek. So Zamalek stood on, but last minute Sejo game no 90 minutes asu ama the 6 minutes kra atosu. Ena goalkeeper Mohammed Sobi se minim ne woni tribuna okomeki that unpardonable mistake. Emma Zamalek for no etikano. Said you Emma Kaizer Chiefs for no etikano. Said you it was so unfortunate on the part of goalkeeper Mohammed Sobi, because na game no dey eyaba na wie ya ne sa. Zamalek have scored, Saifuddin Jaziri etimi ama omo anyada goal no, and they were cruising going into the dying embers of the game, thinking say omo we need game na ne sa. But goalkeeper Mohammed Sobi ekoye that unpardonable mistake ama Zamalek omo Emma Kaizer Chief atikano ama na koye 1-1. So in that group no, what it means say Zamalek entimi any other 6 points are those 2 games. So Al Masry are now on top of the group after omo win against Kaizer Chiefs, and of course omo Sako share Zesco United no, so ama omo so on top of the group. So just quickly yanko he Ghana for more over the weekend.
Okay.
Couple of goals I know so buy Mohamed Kudus forcing Amankwa, the likes of Douglas Osu, Daniel Efriye Banier was on target over the weekend. Prince Edu Kwabena. Sergio Yenshas here ewo Fulham any Tottenham game na ebaso over the weekend. Unfortunately for Tottenham Hotspur, they were down at a point by 2-0. So Kudus have to score the consolation for them. And now Omohuni say after say Kudus eshe go no mubetimi de bi ababe kan na omonya equalizer no, but unfortunately Entimia Manesa 2-2 difficult for Tottenham in that game na course no. And over the weekend that was Mohamed Kudus scoring the consolation no. Wabra Tottenham eluzu at home against Fulham. And Zejo oko the championship forcing Amankwa was on target for the club. Norwich City, they played against QPR, and injury layoff up ahanopa watene fiache, and I think say forcing after coming from injury etimi eshe this goal ebaso between Norwich City and Queen's Park Rangers I course so within the championship no. So apart from him, Prince Edu Kwabena was also on target. Recently had his debut with the Black Stars in that game against Japan and of course South Korea. Black Stars games, you know, and we say he can be a very good admission, especially that goal or share against South Korea now go no understand, you know, because the technique now this share go no a man for who say yes, this is a proper striker or what Nyansa now or what technique power when it comes to scoring me and you like this. So that was the game try go between Victoria Plazen and of course FK Mlada. I course who check league no. Prince Edu Kwabena was on target for the club. Obra omo winning by 2-1. Say yo free a honum echo the Serbian league now. Zelesnika against FC Radniki. Kweku Kakari was on target for the club. FC Zelesnika, and that was how it went on. The Serbia League, no, they won by 2-0, and it was a good one from Kweku Kakari or Shegono, Emma and the club FC Zelesnika, Serbia League, no. Apart from Kweku Kakari, Douglas was also on target. Douglas Ousu was also on target for the team. Radnik Sudolika against TSC Baka. Was Serbia League he went to the movement Sergio Eno Lizu on the left no Emma Dakela no, and that was good enough to see said Douglas Ousugo no Ebetudra Emma the team Radnik Sudolika almost we need the game over the weekend. It was Serbia League no. Apart from Douglas Gono, Daniel Efriye Banier, former striker of Accra Suffolk, former captain of under 23, the Black Meteors of Ghana, and of course, former player and also a co-representing Ghana at World Cup in Qatar 22. Black Stars player and also a part of the squad. No, over the weekend, the team FC Arau won against FC Zamas. Oko the second tier of the Switzerland League now, Swiss League now. If Daniel Efriye Banias was on target for the club, and Seju, that was how it went on over the weekend. So Seju, we know and the summing up the performances of Ghanaian players over the weekend. I think it's good seeing some couple of goals, especially Omo free injury like forcing Amankwa or Timishe over the weekend. Seju,
okay.
Media German pa.